Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the NFL version of Proline. I'm John Cranton in Las Vegas, joined by Jeff Sott of Las Vegas Sports Services and world champion handicapper Jim Feist. Going to take a look at Week 8 of the NFL season. Got a couple of games in the AFC, the Patriots-Dolphins rivalry game, and the Bengals-Jets, a couple of great defensive teams. But first, we have some offers. We got a couple of red-hot Las Vegas handicappers joining us. First, Jim Feist, boy, you're off a 7-3 college football weekend, a winning NFL Sunday. Your totals have been scorching since Week 1 of the season, and you got a trio of big games on tap this weekend.
That's right, John. Thank you for mentioning that, and welcome everybody. Yeah, Oregon State, Buffalo. We had Baylor with a winning Sunday. We're 4-1 on the totals. That makes the 24-13 with NFL totals for the whole year. I have a blockbuster Saturday coming up with my college dog of the year. That's $100 online, and I have a 10-star Inner Circle Steamroller, which is $50 online, and a High Roller Platinum release for $500 online. That's $650 value if you bought it all online. But with this special offer, you get all three for $29. That's 3 games. That's 3 big winners. I was 3-0 with my Inner Circle plays last weekend with South Alabama and the Redskins, and then I had the Bengals and Lions over the total as well. If you sign up early for this, you'll get a TV winner tonight absolutely free. So that's a bonus, all for $29. Just call 1-866-841-1655.
Yeah, Jim's Inner Circle players, they're $50 a piece online, and he went 3-0 with those Inner Circles last weekend, winning with South Alabama, the Redskins, and the Bengals Lions over. So you're going to get one of those Inner Circles with that package as well. Jeff, boy, tearing it up in college football, a 26-13 run. You're off a terrific NFL Sunday, and your another game of the month sweep. You have another 3 big plays going this weekend.
Good, John. The last 3 weeks here on Proline, I've advertised 9 games, and I've won 7 of them. I'm 26-13-1 in college football since September 12th. NFL, I have won my blowout of the month with the Panthers, my dog of the month with the Bills, and for the 5th week in a row, I won my top-rated play, the Blockbuster, and that was the Atlanta Falcons. So this week, I'm going to have a pair of college conference games of the year, plus my NFL total of the month. You're going to get all 3 for only $19. Just call L.V.S.S. to 1-866-575-8916. 2 college conference games of the year and the NFL total of the month, all for $19. 1-866-575-8916.
Okay, make sure you get on board, too, with Dave Cokin. He has his 2013 college football game of the year. That is 25-7 going back 32 years. It's $99 online, but if you want to get it for $25 with a guarantee, call 1-866-896-1629. All right, before we get to our games, let's go to our Twitter question of the week. This is how you people out there can get involved. You can Twitter us at Twitter at Jim Feist Sports, or go to Facebook at Proline TV and just leave a question. And if any of the questions are used, you'll be put in a drawing to win $100 of plays from any handicapper of your choice. We've got Vin Blake of St. Louis, Missouri, is asking about, he's asking about his Kansas City Chiefs. Are the Chiefs for real, or are they just lucky, Jim? So how are these guys doing it with their new coach?
Well, first of all, I think the Chiefs were for real last year as well, except that they didn't have the quarterback, and they didn't have the coach, and they had a lot of injuries to key personnel, skill position players. So they've added a very conservative but very efficient quarterback, and they have a coach who is really a wide-open type of coach when he was at Philadelphia, but he had the quarterbacks to do that. He doesn't have that now, and he's really changed his own personality to go along with this conservative style that fits with Alex Smith. Now, are they for real? A lot of people are going to say they're not for real because they really can't put up a lot of points. They can't play, run with the big boys when they get into those kind of games. Well, they have a couple games with Denver coming up, and I guess we're going to see how that works out. But let's talk about their defense. Their defense they have a lot of skilled position players there. They're very physical. They hit hard. They're nobody to mess around with. They can play. Now, as far as the offense is concerned, they have been taking shots down the field. Alex can throw the ball. They have the wide receivers to make some make a difference and hit some home runs, but they just haven't been connecting. Now, you got to remember, these guys are all new to each other. A lot of these guys didn't play last year together, and some of them were hurt. And then Alex is a brand new quarterback with this group. I actually believe that the way they're playing football, run the ball, control the ball, don't turn the ball over, and play solid defense is the way to win championships. Now, granted, this is a wide-open offensive league now, and all the rules favor the offenses. But when it comes down to it at the end of the season, you're seeing players get hurt right and left. I mean, last week there was probably 10 guys out for the season. So the reason for that is, well, there's a lot of reasons for that. But one of the reasons is they're playing these wide-open offenses, which creates a lot more hits on the quarterbacks, a lot more hits on the wide receivers and running backs, because they're playing that type. If you're getting 160, 180 plays on offense versus, say, 140, that adds up over a season. That's a lot more hits, it's a lot more injuries, and a lot more players going down. So now we have practice team players in the league starting, so you're going to have to get more conservative. The weather's going to get worse. Plus, in places like Kansas City, they get bad weather there. So you're going to have to be conservative. You're going to have to take care of the football, and you're going to have to play solid defense. Well, that's the way Kansas City is playing. And so I think it fits them. Now, is that a championship, a Super Bowl quality team? Probably not, because some of the games are going to be played in conditions that aren't that bad when you get dome games in such a way like that, and you're going to have to put up a lot of points. But you got to remember where the Super Bowl is going to be played this year. If they happen to get to the Super Bowl, and there's a possibility. I mean, all they have to do is beat Denver, and if you beat Peyton Manning up enough, they are beatable. So if you get past Denver, and then you get, of course, if Brady and company get their stuff together, Houston's kind of out of the mix. They got problems. So yeah, they can get to the Super Bowl. If they do, they're playing it in New York this year, and the weather could be crap in New York in February. I mean, I've lived there. I know what it's like there. You get windy conditions in that stadium. It can be freezing. And guess what? That's the way Kansas City plays football. They can beat teams in that kind of conditions, because you're not going to have to put up a lot of points. You just have to play strong football, don't turn the ball over. So the long and the short of it, yes, I believe in this style of football. It's not as pretty as some of the others, but when it comes down to the crunch time, this is the kind of football that will win championships.
Well, I can assure you that in February, the weather will be crappy in New York. The question is, it going to be moderately crappy or real crappy? And that's really the caveat. We don't know yet. But, yeah, Jeff, the Chiefs were a great running team last year, and they're 12th in rushing this year. The defense, they do a lot of things well. 3rd against the pass, 19th against the run. On the other hand, they had 1-point wins over Dallas and Houston. They beat the Jaguars, Giants, Raiders, and Titans. So where's the truth with this Kansas City team?
Well, as Jim says, we'll find out soon when they play Denver. But this team reminds me of a lot of like Jim Harbaugh's first team with the 49ers. They have a great defense, and they had Alex Smith quarterbacking, not making a lot of mistakes, just scoring enough points to win games. So that's a team that remind me of. And last year they had a lot of injuries. Now a lot of those players are back. So I think things are just coming together for the Chiefs. I think they're definitely for real. I don't know if they won a Super Bowl or not, but they're going to be in the playoffs, and anything can happen then. So yeah, I think the Chiefs have good things ahead of them, John.
All right, let's get to our first game, guys. We're going to go to the AFC East for this one. The Dolphins are playing at the Patriots, a rivalry game. Jim, you get starting to look at the weather here. 50 degrees, 12-mile-an-hour winds, no rain. And you get the Dolphins team that started 3-0, but they haven't won since. And the Patriots have lost 2 out of 3. And if it wasn't for that miracle touchdown at the buzzer against the Saints, they'd also be riding a 3-game run. So you get the Patriots 7-point favorites, total of 45.5. Where are the edges?
You know, I have my problems figuring these teams out. This Patriot team is an enigma to me. I scratch my head every week when I watch Denver play and I see Wes Welker in their uniform instead of with the Patriots. I do not understand how they let that happen. And they did it intentionally, obviously, because Brady gave him a cut on the salary so they could sign players, and they still went ahead and let them go. They bring in Amendola, who is an injury looking for a place to happen. He's been hurt every year that I can remember. Gronkowski, I mean, he is a horse, and if he's playing and he's healthy, he makes a big difference. Is Tom Brady, is he gotten to the point where he is getting a little older, where we're all get older? I'm not knocking old guys. I'm an old guy. But and he's still a great athlete, and he still can throw the ball better than most. But a lot of his wide receivers don't catch the ball like they used to. I mean, they're not. This isn't the group that he's used to playing with. Are they going to get good enough to be the Patriots of old? They're not going to be that. Those days are past. Can they win some games? Yeah, they can win some games, but they're not dominating. They're very lucky to beat the Saints. The Saints actually beat themselves with their inefficiency on offense in the last couple of minutes and the terrible defensive scheme they played at the end. They didn't beat the Saints. Now, the Miami Dolphins are not the Saints. And Tannehill is very average. He's 9 TDs, 7 interceptions. He is not playing that well. The Miami Dolphins have a long way to go to be a competitive team. But this whole AFC East is weak. I know the Jets are making some noise, but I don't believe the Jets are for real outside of this division. That maybe if the Patriots keep slipping, the Jets can sneak in there for a playoff spot. But I still scratch my head about this whole division. I'm not high on any team in this division, and anytime these teams are playing big points, in this case you're looking at 7, the public always bets the Patriots. So I'd take the dog here just because I just don't believe the Patriots are back.
Yeah, Jeff, the Dolphins last year had a bad offense, statistically passing and rushing, so they went out and gave a lot of money to Mike Wallace. Well, right now, he's 4th on the team in receiving. They're 19th in the NFL in passing, 27th in rushing. Did they get their money's worth?
Not really. We know the Dolphins started 3-0, but look who they beat. They beat the Browns, who had no offense, and they were very fortunate to beat the Colts and the Falcons. The Colts Falcons actually blew both those games, and now the Dolphins are back to being an average team at best, and it's probably get worse. They have the Patriots this week and the Bengals next week. The offensive line is weak. On Sunday against the Bills, Buffalo scored 17 points off turnovers, and the thing is, the Dolphins are coming off a bye week. You think they'd have things straightened out, but they had one of the worst first quarters ever. They had a terrible first quarter, Ryan Tannehill especially. The Patriots, they lost that game with that penalty, but that was strange. But they only converted 1 out of 12 third down plays. They've outscored 20-6 in the second half. The Patriots have that philosophy of next man up. If one guy goes down, the other guy's going to pick it up. But sooner or later, you get so many injuries, and they're going to run out of players who are capable of doing the job. So the Patriots are 29-12-1 against the spread following a loss. They've won 6 straight against the Dolphins, 4-2 against the spread. Last year on this field, they beat the Dolphins 28-0. I'm not going to play this game. If I had to lean, I'd lean toward the Patriots. But at 7 points, that's probably too many. But this game, I'll probably lay off the game. But if I had to make a choice, I'll take a slight lean on the Patriots, John.
Okay, and the Patriots, when they play the AFC East, they haven't been covering games lately, 2-6 against the spread within the division. And while they've been a great over team the last couple of years, well, all their problems offensively, they're now 4-3 under the total. And keep in mind that the Dolphins, when they play the AFC, 19-7-1 under the total. All right, guys, let's take a look at our last game. The Jets are playing at the Bengals. You got a couple of surprising teams, or at least the Jets are surprising. Great defense with Rex Ryan and all the talent that the Bengals have. Jets haven't been great on the road, just 1-2 straight up, although 2-1 ATS. And, Jim, the Jets' offense, the defense has been great, but the offense has been a bit of an enigma, not surprising with this rookie quarterback, Geno Smith. 8 touchdowns and 11 picks tells you that he's not very good, and yet when you watch him play, he's a little bit better than that against the Falcons and then last week against the Patriots.
Well, the kid has stepped up. I mean, I didn't believe he was ready for the NFL, but then when Sanchez went down, he won the job by default. The guy has talent. There's no question about it. He wouldn't have been drafted. I mean, the NFL doesn't draft guys without talent. Sometimes they're not mature enough to play in the NFL. But this guy is playing very well. He comes into every game with a lot of confidence. He has his bad games, and it's kind of been off and on for him. 1 week's good, 1 week's bad. He's due for a bad week here, especially after that big victory over the Patriots. That was a huge game for the Jets. big emotional game. They're going on the road here against the Bengals. The Bengals generally are very conservative, but last week when you watched them against the Lions, they didn't appear that conservative to me. They hit some long shots. Andy Dalton has been criticized for being too conservative. Their head coach has been criticized for being too conservative. This is a non-division game for the Bengals, and I don't think, they don't have anything really to point to or look ahead to for next week. I think the Bengals will come to play here. I think they're the Jets are in a dangerous spot right here, especially coming off the Pats.
Well, Jeff, the Jets have a conservative offensive coordinator in Marty Morningway, which they really have to do with the rookie quarterback. The Bengals, too, have a conservative guy in Jay Gruden running the attack. I love the talent that the Bengals have on both sides of the ball, but they don't always put teams away, and they come off that close win last week over your Detroit Lions, or have you given up on the Lions?
I gave up on the Lions 40 years ago, so that's nothing new there. But the Bengals' biggest win has been 10 points, and that was against a moribund Steelers team. So they're not blowing teams out. The Jets have really been a surprise team for me. Before the season started, I think on this show I said it looks like Rex Ryan's a lame duck coach. They had really quarterback problems, but you got to give Ryan credit. He's come out and with this team, and they have a really good defense, like Ryan said they would, and they've really been a surprise team. I have to give Rex Ryan credit. Geno Smith has been a typical rookie, inconsistent. The Jets have alternated wins and losses. Geno Smith's thrown 8 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions, but he's been sacked 14 times. So this is, as Jim said, an obvious letdown spot for the Jets. Andy Dalton's played probably the best game of the season against the Lions, 24-34, 372 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Bengals are 8th in the league in defense, but they had a lot of injuries on Sunday, especially Leon Hall went down. Defensive backfield is going to be a big loss. They're 5-2, but they're not blowing teams out. That's why I think this is too many points delayed for the Bengals. The total here is 41.5. I think that's a little too low. So I'm going to take the Jets and Bengals to go over the total, John.
Okay, a couple of great defenses and some conservative offensive play here. Keep in mind that the Bengals are on 11-5 run under the total, but they've also been a cover machine, 11-4-1 ATS over the last 16 games. All right, guys, let's get to some best bets and what we've got going this weekend. Jim, you've got that college dog of the year, and you're 24-13 with NFL totals. How can people get aboard this weekend?
Well, write down this number, 1-866-841-1655. $29, you're going to get a college dog of the year, which is $100 online. You're going to get a 10-star inner circle steamroller, which is $50 online. And you're going to get a high roller platinum, which is $500 online. That's $650 of value, all three, for $29. Now, I was 3-0 with my inner circles over last weekend. So you're going to be on board with that and the college dog and the platinum. And if you call right away, you're going to get a bonus play tonight. So call 1-866-841-1655. The whole package is $29. So you want to get on board. I've been absolutely red hot, and I would suggest you make the call and do it now.
Jeff, you two are 26-13 run in college football. Another game of the month sweep. What do you have on tap this weekend at L.V.S.S.?
Yeah, I've won 7 out of 9 games that I've advertised here on Proline last 2 weeks, and I have 3 more this week. 2 college conference games of the year, the NFL total of the month. All 3, a grand total of only $19. Call L.V.S.S. at 1-866-575-8916. My best bet's going to be that Jets-Bengals game over. I think they made that number just too low, 41.5, so I'll take the Jets and Bengals over. But once again, get 2 college conference games of the year, NFL total of the month, all for $19. 1-866-575-8916.
Well, best bet, I'll go.
I didn't give a best, John. I didn't give a best bet. I forgot to. I really am not in love with either one of these games. But what Jeff said about the total of this Jets-Bengals game being a non-featured game with not a lot of intensity in it, I do think the number at 41 is too low. And providing the weather is okay at that stadium on Sunday, I like this game to go over too.
Okay, the Pats Dolphins game, I'll go with that. Totally got a Dolphins defense that's 25th in the NFL in pass defense. They're 14th in rushing. The Patriots chew up teams that are soft defensively with their balanced attack. And keep in mind, the Patriots 43-20 run over the total. Plus, they got Rob Gronkowski back. I'll go with the Dolphins. Patriots on Sunday with decent weather over the total. Remember, Dave Cokin has that college game of the year going on Saturday. $25 with a guarantee of 1-866-896-1629. That'll do it for the NFL version of Proline. Good luck with the games, everybody, and we'll see you back next week.